I'm Elisa Mortensen, and this is UndoRedo. Let's take a look at all the things that happen in life that we would like to undo and have a chance to redo. Hello, everyone. This is my second attempt at recording one of my podcasts with video. So here we go. I want to know how things are in your world. Everyone I've talked to recently has been having issues with time. Are you kind of the same way? And what I mean by that is they say things like, I don't know where it goes. I have a hard time keeping track of it. Doesn't it sound kind of elusive or unmanageable, this time? It seems to be stressing people out, and they either can't get enough of it or don't know where it went. But what's also true is when we have too much time, we often misuse it or we waste it. So that's what I'm thinking about. I might do a mini workshop on it and teach you how to bend time in your favor and how to manage and use your time more effectively. So let me know how many of you would be in on that, because I'll make it as easy as possible for you to get really good results with your time. Message me if you like that idea. I think I'll let all my monthly members just access it, and all my paid students for this fall class and for the upcoming January class. And for those who can't make it, I'll send a replay, but there'll be some small cost to it for anybody else who wants to join. UndoRedo course right now this week is on week 5 out of 6. It goes by so fast, and it is packed with so much information, and it's distilled and simplified to really only what's essential and what's perfect for you to remember as you problem solve and navigate your relationships and the connection you have with yourself, and having your true authentic voice, being a caregiver, a parent, a teacher, a leader, managing other people. It all comes down to these 6 simple steps. So I just love my course, and all my students are loving the course, and we're flying right through it, and it's almost over. It's a bittersweet. We've shifted our minds so much, and we've translated that mind shift into some daily moments and wins that are turning into a little bit of a more win each day, weekly, monthly, yearly, and then pretty soon it just becomes a life shift. So that's where we're headed. And because what we do most really is who we are. We can't say we're anything other than what we're actually doing at the moment, right? If you say, I am a volleyball player, and it was back in high school, like we did that, but like we aren't currently that right now, right? Okay, my prompts are just to the side of this screen, and this is kind of fun. All right. Today we're going to talk about doing it all, right? Needing to do it all, having to get it all done so you can relax and enjoy. Doesn't that sound nice? What if you could do that for yourself? Who wouldn't want to relax, knowing all of it was done? It really sounds wonderful, and it would be a new place for me to arrive, because I've never quite got it, like, quote unquote, all done before. Maybe having it all done is different for everyone. If you asked any of my kids growing up that were playing video games or just enjoying bedroom time or phone time, they would have said, yeah, my chores are all done. So their idea of having it all done was very different than mine. And I would beg to differ, because, the toilet wasn't, in my opinion, and the trash was still there, or the dishes just were still in the same place as before. So what is your definition of having it all done too? How about some things that are harmful if they're not all done, like the turkey that one time, that one year that you guys had that turkey and you cut into it and it's still slippery in the middle? Yeah, some things can harm us if they're not done, right? But for the most part, who decides what gets done and what it means to have it all done? We get to decide. And isn't that nice? We get to have relaxing days more often when we decide that we get relaxing days more often. We can get things more all done to our standard if we're cracking the whip and saying we get it all done. Have you ever said, like, I'm going to go relax for a little bit, but the whole time you were relaxing, something was just pulling at you that you didn't go do yet? I know this has happened to everyone, but it doesn't really allow you to relax because it's still there, right? I'm trying to get us to notice whether it's in our career or responsibilities at home or other people that we manage, that we're the ones that get to decide what it looks like to get it all done or to have it done the right way, whether it's like projects, emails, bills, picking things up, wiping things down, organizing, purchasing the food, vacuuming floors, the cutting of the lawn, the snow removal, repairs, broken or worn down things, all this stuff. We decide. Because there are some people in some places in the country that like their houses are just kind of breaking down, but they're the happiest people ever. They can enjoy all day long. They can go to the beaches and the islands and the third world countries, you name it. They're happy. So it's not that our rules, when they're all aligned and all perfect and needing to be done, that's not what makes us happy. Some of you may argue, well, it's obvious what needs to be done, but that's debatable because we know that one person who's a hoarder may never have cleaned in their entire lives and have this little pathway through their home and it's stacked to the ceilings, and that doesn't bother them a bit. They don't obsess over it. And then the other person obsesses morning, noon, and night over all the dust specks that fall on that like dark wood floor or the crumbs, right? Or the hair. It depends on how committed you are to obsessing over what. Having it all done so we can relax punishes ourselves to remain in a state, or me anyways, because I never have it all done, remain in a state that I have to constantly be doing things in order to chase relaxation and happiness and never actually attain it. Just noticing that for myself, like I never actually have it all done. So what does that mean for me in my life? And who's doing that to me? It's rude, right? I'm doing it to myself. We're doing it to ourselves. So while we're here, I want to address this part too, because what about you get it all done and someone comes through that area like a wrecking ball? Like, how dare they do that to you, right? That's awful. I can't believe they would do that. When really it's maybe just like a few crumbs overlooked because they made some toast and a few crumbs fell to the side and they were excited to get back to their movie or their show, or they were hungry and they had to be somewhere. But we act like they're setting fire to the kitchen. We're such drama. Don't we get like so fussy? We're so put out. We're so upset when someone like they got to quit doing this. They need to really, like you can call them back in and make them take care of it or just wipe it up yourself. But that extra drama that we have really isn't necessary. And what I'm trying to do is just either you teach them to have mindfulness about it, or you just clean it up because it's no big deal. But like you get to choose. I'm trying to give you your power back because we all fall like such victim and such hostage to all these situations. So let's just teach them how you like it to be done, or wipe it up real quick because it's like real quick to just like scoop it all into the sink or into the garbage. But it does show to us, our reactions show to us how afraid we are and how committed to our comfort we are. Like we're so afraid of it not being done, or we're so committed to having any little extra work to do. We're so committed to our comfort. And even if they did it by mistake, it's still too much for us. Like, nope. We can learn better communication. You know that, right? We can have an emotional resilience when we decide not to make such a big fuss over it. And that's what confidence is. It's knowing that we can get through and not make things like a bigger deal than they are, and start counting on ourselves to know that we can do what it takes. Like, what do I want to do in this situation? Do I want to teach them like how to do this properly? Or do I just want to do it real quick because it's not that big of a deal and talk about it later? Like it gets to be you, but it doesn't have to be with so much drama, right? We can make excuses like, well, they did this, and so that's like your excuse to lash out and have bad behavior. What if you're rude to them and it's because they left that there? I would take ownership of it because we can't change anything that we don't own. But in all reality, it's our standard, not theirs. That having it that way is our standard and our priority, our obsession, our demand. We can request of them, right? We can try to teach them and hope that they remember. But are you going to do it with making them feel like, how are you going to make them feel how necessary it is? Because you feel like it's so necessary. It's so obvious. Why don't they see? They don't necessarily feel that. How are you going to make them feel what you feel? I don't know. I've yet to have it really work. right? They have their own thoughts about it, honestly. What it sounds like in my head sometimes is when I get blank all done, then I can relax. Then I can enjoy. Or I can't even enjoy until I blank. Or I'll never be calm when blank isn't done. I don't have any time to spend on this other thing if this isn't done. So I just get in this fit in my mind. If I would have more time for blank if this would just stay done. You can kind of get then I can finally take a load off. It's almost like then I'll be happy when this thing is achieved, but then you get there and you're really not ever happy because you think getting it clean makes you happy, and that's not where it comes from. But what happens is we're not allowing ourselves to be happy, calm, relaxed, or enjoy when it's all done. Right? We could argue that it's not all done more often than it is. I feel like the dishes are always needing to be done. The laundry is always needing to be done. My business, my job, my emails, my content and the creation and the students, it's never all done. So that means I would never enjoy. That would mean I made the decision to be such a slave to everything I'm doing and everything that I have to have be a certain way. I've decided beforehand so I'm just unable and simply cannot or won't enjoy relaxation, calm, or being present in the moment until it's all done. That kind of slave drives me 24/7 because we can't escape our minds or our bodies or our thoughts. It really is the fastest way to fry your nerves and to set you in a state of panic and anxiety and decide that you're OCD and you have issues and that this is just who you are. It never lets us see the journey or how to trust the process or how to go with the flow because we just decided we're not allowed to till it's all done. Right? We never pass through the discomfort of allowing it to be there or noticing it's just the process of life. Maybe you learned how to treat yourself this way, like the crack in the whip. Maybe your parents did that. It's quite possible that they sent the message to you somehow that you must be miserable until you pay the price, or only when you go through some grueling hard work, then you can have enjoyment. It's quite possible that that's where you've learned it even. But wherever you picked it up, whenever that was a decision that you made to set this standard, I want you to consider undoing it. Before you get mad at me for saying that, because that's how you get stuff done. I know there's many of you that will say, but it needs to be done. You can't tell me it can't be done. It has to be done. And I know I understand that. I just want you to hear how true it is that you are committed to the fight of having it done. So much so that it's just not enjoyable. Let's just play with waiting. What if you did it kind of drama-free instead of a fit? What if you just didn't have it done and learned how to manage yourself around it? Just consider it doesn't have to be done. You could go have a great conversation with someone still. You go play on the floor with your kids. You could have a super deep connection with someone who really needs you right now and still not have it done. But that could be enjoyable, right? That could be pretty rewarding. And then in the back of your mind, you could just know you'll get it done when you can. And it's just not right now. It's just going to wait for you for a minute. And you could truly let yourself enjoy what's in front of you at the moment if you are having relaxed time because you did need a break. And I'm all about take a break when you need it. I really am. But you can clean it when you want to because it needs to be clean without all the complaints, without all the blame, without causing yourself unnecessary stress and resentment to people around you. That icky, blaming, resentful feeling that you get inside. All right? Whenever you find the time to get it all done at once, when is that going to happen? I know it doesn't happen for me in my life. I cannot ever really find the time to get it all done at once. So you can choose what you want to go after and do what you said you would. Even if you're just guessing I'm going to do it tomorrow morning, maybe you'll get interrupted. But do what you can. Start. It's better than not trying at all. People who have a hard time getting stuff done are opposite of the people who have to have it done and they just don't stop and they're disciplined, right? They make themselves do it at the cost of themselves sometimes. But when it seems right for you and when it's time, just don't even question it. Just go do it. Now, if your baby woke up from a nap during the time you said you were going to do it, it's during nap time, and it's just interrupted, or like grandma calls and she needs someone to drive her to the doctor, you can chip at it little bits at a time. You can get really creative if you have a young family and you don't have a lot of time and you're a working mom and all of the above. You can chip away at it as best you can. You can delegate some of it. You can split it up when possible. You can have someone come over, like the neighbor girl, pay her to come over and help you. You can move it into a different time slot if you absolutely just did not get to it when it was in your calendar. If you totally missed all of it when the time was planned. Just know that you can do something about it. You get up earlier, you go to bed later. If you're not willing to do it, instead of complaining about it, just figure some other creative way to get it done without causing yourself any undue stress and without lashing out at everyone around you for maybe your lack of or misuse of time and lack of commitment to it, right? No one's coming to make sure you get these things done because we're all adults here. If you are there for yourself in a kind and graceful way, science has proven that if you have grace for yourself and you're very compassionate for all you do, for all you've been through and all you've gone through, that you're most likely to go make things happen for yourself that you need, that you want to. You don't wait around in pity hoping somebody else will come do it. You're like, this is okay. I've been going through a hard time. I got this. I'm just going to go do this thing for myself. It's more of a gentle place, less disciplinary. It's not getting mad at yourself, judging yourself, decreasing your worth. Because quite honestly, nobody likes to show up and get everything done for somebody who's treating you like that. Even when you're treating yourself like that, you'll show up less. So just science has proven that compassion and kindness to yourself and just having that grace for all you're doing and how you're like rocking it and how awesome you are. Even kids in elementary school, like in a classroom, they're less likely to ask for help from the teacher when they really need it. They're less likely to turn in homework or get answers right from a brash teacher who's very disciplinary and demanding and shames you and makes you feel kind of like dumb, says things that are critical and rude to either you or to the other kids. It's kind of threatening, right? So if we're doing that inside our own minds, it's no wonder we don't show up for ourselves. And then we're all mad. We're mad that we have fear. We're mad that we have anxiety. And then we try to numb it and mask it. And it causes all sorts of problems when we don't face it. But think about children who only respond when mom is out of control angry, right? The parent can motivate people by cracking the whip of fear. Like I've asked you 5 times, now I'm a screaming banshee, and this is what gets results, right? But it also is not the way the most effective long-term motivation comes from. It's just not. Thinking that we are amazing and capable is where motivation comes from, not from thinking we're dumb and useless and something's wrong with us. So if we have these beliefs where there's something wrong with me and I'm dumb, I'm not capable, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't remember, I can't get it together, then we're setting ourselves up for that's our identity, and we don't show up really well for someone who thinks that of us. So just remember that, because we're simply just afraid of punishment if we're doing something out of fear. And I just want you to think like, isn't this all interesting? We get to decide because we came up with the rules for our own lives. We've outlined it for ourselves. We make ourselves. We create our own journey. It's like an experiment. And I love that we do, because if we know we made them, we also know we can change them. We're the ones that decided, so we're the ones that get to like undecide. We get to decide when we have relaxed enjoyment. We get to decide how often and for how long, and just give it to ourselves because we've wanted it for so long. We want to enjoy, we want to have peace, we want to end the fight inside of us. There's a lot of things that we want. Wanting's insatiable. It'll never go away. But it's nice to know that it's not dependent on other people, what they didn't do. It's not dependent on what we did do, or what we didn't do, what got done or what didn't, whether there's cleanliness or agreement or, no arguments or more money or less money or apologies and perfect health. That part doesn't matter because we get to decide. And I know it sounds complicated, but it's not. We set ourselves free to enjoy whenever we choose. I'm going to enjoy this minute, which means I'm going to do some mind management on things that hold me hostage, right? When we decide those things that drive us crazy and hold us hostage don't anymore, to some light degree, there's some heavy stuff out there that you guys are thinking, but on a lighter tone, like, I'm trying to look at my notes here, like thoughts like I should have done the laundry after you've realized you scrolled for a half hour instead, or I should clean the kitchen. I should be cleaning the kitchen right now when you're on a long talk with your sister. Like, that's very disciplinary. Like, just enjoy your talk with your sister, right? Just enjoy that you scrolled on your phone for a minute because you actually had a minute to do that. And then own the laundry later. Know that you can fit it in. Have the confidence that you're going to be able to do it and not create all the mind chatter and drama around it. That's the managing part. So instead of being completely content when you choose to relax, you're really wound up about what you're not doing because you chose to relax. And that's the part I want you to kind of let go of. Do whatever it takes to get the chatter in that mind, to turn it down so you can turn the other one up. Otherwise, you're just bullying yourself because you're trying to do something nice and enjoyable and somebody's coming around and like pecking at you and bullying you. You're like the annoying sibling in your own head. So relax, even though the crumbs are on the counter, the laundry is waiting, you didn't cook dinner, so people are just starting to eat cereal. Who cares? Learn how to relax. Don't do it and then be mad at yourself or mad at someone else because they didn't help you, or just keep kicking yourself because you wasted time. Just love your choice. Make your choice and love your choice. It's a lose-lose if you just can't win either way. So you may as well take it easy on yourself. You can get it done because you want to right now, or you can put it in the calendar for some other time that you know you're going to, so it doesn't keep nagging, but you're the one that has to let it go. You're the one that has to take a deep breath and just relax into it. So you can learn how. And if you're a slave to some things and you want to get out of it, and this is making some sense to you and you want that, but you don't know what it looks like in your life, just get on a quick call with me. The first call is always free, and you'll see for yourself how simple it is when we break it down to how you've created it. And once you see how you've created it, you can also see how to kind of tear it apart and create something else that you want. That's the whole undo redo that I'm talking about. And if you thought of anyone while you're listening to this, please go share it with them now, because that's the way heaven works. Heaven works through us to reach each other and to help each other. So I will see you, class, on Monday. Otherwise, right here next week. And I love you all. God bless. Bye.